Okay, so hey everybody, it is Bowser Jr. Happy Shark, and today I will be showing you all you guys how to make a hand in Blender. I was a few years ago, or maybe a few months ago, I forgot exactly when. I've been looking all over the internet for a video on how to make a hand in Blender, and I noticed that there weren't any. So just if you don't know how to make a hand and you want to make a good model, just follow this. First, as you see, you put down a cube. A cube is a great shape to start off with as your base. So first down here, you need to click on this. By the way, I'm currently using Blender 2.7.9. I prefer to use 7 instead of 8. The controls will seriously change with 8. Still getting used to that. So first, you need to click Control R, and as you see this pink line means that whatever happens, that'll turn one of the faces into two faces, as you can see now. As you all know, hands have 4 fingers and a thumb, which I'll work on later. So you will need to do this 3 times. 3 fingers, 4 fingers. There it goes. Since it's quite obvious, this hand is too tall to be a hand. So clearly we need to make this part a bit smaller. Whatever. You can change the direction from which way you're looking for. On the right hand, you see a little cube, like a square of number buttons. 1 is forward, 3 is side, and 7 is top. Don't pay attention to that. Anyway, so this way it's easier to work with it because you actually know exactly how much you shrunk it. So now it's about the size of a hand. So take each one of them and click E, which will export each one. There. Now you take each one of the new faces and just a tiny bit take them out. As you can see, the exportation made this face be able to expand from the other face without making any interruptions. So now you need to take each one and shrink it a bit to make it easy to figure out. Also, make sure that your shrinking is the same size. So put your viewpoint to whichever direction you put your fingers in, and try to shrink them to the most precise size you can. Okay. Now just choose all of them and go to top mode. This will give you a view of what you can see from the top, obviously. So click E again, which will make your fingers longer. This will be there are 3 parts to the finger. This will be part 1. Do another E, tiny bit. That's for later in the video for the rigging, to make sure the finger doesn't bend in really awkward ways. And do E a second time, tiny bit more. Okay, there. Now for part 2. Same way. Long fingers. And 2 mini E's. That's what I like to call them. I like calling them mini E's. And then a last one. Extrusion number 4. There. So those are your fingers. Looks a bit awkward right now, but trust me, it'll look better later on. So then you grab this area with these 4 squares. This, and this is gonna be the palm. So we need to go over to the back and kind of make it more hand-shaped and not a square. Use E again, and move them back a bit, and shrink them by X if you're, or Y depending on which angle you decide to put it on. That way it won't get shrunk by the top as well. Now it's more hand-shaped. Don't worry about the fact that all the fingers are cubed. Now it's time for the thumb. Now you need to do another Control R and put it somewhere around here, going in the opposite direction of your fingers do. So now we go back to the same thing. E. This is a bit bigger. Size opposite direction of the palm. Obviously, you all know that thumbs are smaller, so. And also, thumbs have two sections, as you all know, so we only need to do it twice. And here you go, this is a hand. This may not really seem much like a hand right now, but when you go into this, if you go to the side, just two away from the color, you can see like a tool. This is the modifier area. Do subdivision surface to see what it'll look like when you're done. This is what your hand will look like when it's finished. I know I didn't really make the middle finger longer than the other fingers. That's just to shorten this video a bit. Didn't want it to take too long, so anyway. So now it's time for some rigging, giving this finger actual movement. First you need to make a bone. Give it X-ray vision so you can see it from anywhere through the hand. Make sure that it's perfectly centered and about in the middle of all five, like around there. Now you go over to edit and you take the first bone and you just tilt it. Oh well, I messed up there. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, so this will be assigning every single finger. Once again, you do E on each finger. Each one of these bones, this is for that finger. This is for the pointer. Then you do the same thing with the other two fingers. Then do same for thumb. Remember when I told you about fingers have multiple parts? You put one bone per part. So like, now will be a good time to turn this vision thing on, so you actually know what is going on. Never mind that, I still can't see what it is. So anyway, back to this. Okay, each finger has 3 pieces. Remember, E. Oops, my fault. And there's your boning. These bones could come. Okay, that's rigged currently. I mean, not rigged, but rendered. So anyways, you could add an later on, like when you're making this, it's usually after you make a body and then there's hand and arm which you attach this hand to. Well, you make this hand, not like whatever. The video isn't about arms, so it's about this hand. So usually there's like another set of bones going to this bone which extends to these four fingers and one thumb. But anyways, now it's time to rig up this thing. Also, it is a really good idea to give your bones names that tell you what it is. Adds a bit of time to making this hand, but it is really helpful for later. Make sure I do this, sometimes I forget. Okay. Sorry, I forgot the U, but I'm not gonna go back to that for now. Oops, misspelled it again. My mistake. So you click on the hand, hold shift, and right click on the bones, and then do Control P, which gives you the options of parenting. Click on with empty groups, because that way you can actually do it yourself. Also call the cube hand. Once again, just helpful. Now go to edit mode. To make it, turn the thing next to this picture. Click on that. See how it is no longer dark like this? That means you can see right through the hand. If you look at a different angle, that's what you see. Click on this triangle, and it will show you every single bone that is attached to. Start off with just the palm. Click B, which allows us to select a certain, like, oops. Select just the palm. And assign that pointer 1. Let's see, so this was the pointer. This is the first part. And the sign. Same goes with everything else. Sign. Now middle finger. Here you need to be a bit more precise because you don't want to accidentally click other fingers. Middle finger 2. Also, make sure that you don't accidentally assign the same thing to multiple bones. That does happen. Okay, pinky 1. After every single bone, click A to disremove it. If nothing is selected, it'll just select absolutely everything. Like that. But we don't want that. If something is selected, it just deselects everything. Ring. Oops. Forgot B. Ring 2. And then ring 3. Thumb 1. As you can see, this is quite a simple task to do. Just takes a little while. And then thumb 2. And if I did that properly, everything should be working out fine. Okay, let's give this thing a little test here. Okay, so now the thumb. Yep, the rest of the thumb, yeah, it's good. Let's see, finger. Okay, and then finally, yeah, that seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. So yeah, that's a hand for you. And also, go back. I forgot one thing. Go back to your hand and apply. No, don't apply the hand. What you just saw. Add this. Set it to 2 or 1 depending what you want. It doesn't really matter. This one's a bit more pointy. I prefer more smooth. And give it a smoothing under shade smooth. You can change its color into anything. Let's just go for a human peach. There, hand. And never forget to save your files. I used to mess up like that all the time. I'm just gonna call it hand. And there's your hand. Hope that really helped you out, guys. See you in my next videos.